Hey, what's going on? This is Seth from the RE Tipster blog. In this video, I'm going to show you a quick look at a course that I learned about just about a week or so ago called Craigslist for Land Investors. This is put together from a friend of mine, Seth Draley Yuan. And Seth, you might remember him. He was one of the two people I interviewed in episode number 9 of the RE Tipster podcast. I'll include a link beneath this video in case you want to check it out. But as a land investor, one of the struggles that he encountered, and probably one of the struggles that you've encountered if you're in the land business, is with Craigslist. And Craigslist is kind of a double-edged sword because on one hand, it's incredible. I mean, you can reach so many people and it's free. It's just like a massive marketing machine that, I mean, even for myself, like pretty much every property I've ever sold has been through Craigslist. So, I mean, I'm very familiar with the power of that marketing medium. But what stinks about Craigslist is that, like, if you really, really want to harness the power of that platform, it's really helpful if you can post ads that are, the same or very similar multiple times in the same markets or in other markets. And as soon as you start doing that, it doesn't take long before your ads start getting flagged and ghosted and removed, and kind of just like defeats the whole purpose because you end up spending so much time trying to get your property information out there and they just lay the smack down and you can't do it. And it's really, really frustrating. And there is a way to get around this, actually, at least at the time of this recording, based on how Craigslist and the algorithm currently works. And the way to get around that, essentially, is to create multiple Craigslist accounts. But in order to do that, you need to create multiple email addresses and then post from different IP addresses. It gets really complicated really fast, and it's not easy to figure all this stuff out on your own. Like, personally, I've never been able to do it. I've never done it. I've kind of just lived with the limited power that I can use with my one Craigslist account, and I go as far as I can. And that's, it's certainly been worth doing, but man, it would be awesome if I could like really bring it to the full tilt and post it all over the place. And what Seth has done here is, over the past year or so, he spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to do that. How you can get around these obstacles that Craigslist throws out there. And in this course he put together, he basically explains exactly how he does that. And he has several training videos where he takes you through each step of the process that you can go through if you want to do this as well. This right here is the sales page that you'll see. It's really nothing special. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward website. It kind of outlines the different pricing options. This is what the prices are at the time of this recording, so it's not cheap. I mean, don't get me wrong. But if you haven't started using Craigslist yet, or perhaps if you have and you see the potential and you realize just what a big deal Craigslist can be, this is like nothing to pay, especially if you're going to be posting your properties all over the place. And if you really want to get them sold faster and get more exposure, I mean, this will pay for itself on your first deal easily. Just to help you understand the differences between these pricing plans, this cheapest one here, the basic plan, is modules 1 through 5. And this is what modules 1 through 5 look like. If you scroll down here, each video is anywhere from like 15 to 20 minutes long. Looks like this one's about 9 minutes long. But it really just shows you the different steps that are required, starting with how to create unlimited Craigslist accounts, and then it's got these nice little action steps that you have to go through in order to actually follow those steps, and then how to create unlimited phone numbers, unlimited free content, unlimited IP addresses, and then actually posting to Craigslist. And then they also include these little updates whenever things change out there that you need to know about. So this isn't like some course that was made 5 years ago and it's not applicable anymore. This is something that's valid like right now based on how things work. He's even got a Facebook support group so you can ask questions and get clarification on things if you need that. And from what I've seen, he's been very, very responsive there. And in terms of how these videos are laid out, I gotta say, I thought these videos were actually very well done. Essentially, they're all like screenshot videos where he takes you through every single thing you have to do in order to complete these steps. So he leaves nothing to the imagination. If you literally just follow what he does, you can get from A to B to C all the way to Z. So just to give you an idea of how these videos work, I'm just going to quick show you an example from Module 1 and how Seth explains things so you can get the idea for his voice and how good of a teacher he is. So let's push play here.
So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and purchase a domain through domains.google. We're going to go ahead and set up that domain step by step. Following that, we're going to go ahead and purchase a G Suite account through our domain. A G Suite account is the paid version of Google. You can get a free Gmail account and use one email address, but when we use a G Suite account, we can go ahead and make unlimited email addresses that will go ahead and forward to our one G Suite Gmail account. And so we're going to go ahead and show you how to set that up. Following that, we're going to go over to Craigslist. I'm going to show you the anatomy of the site, and then we're going to make an account using our newly established Google account that we're going to be filtering all of our Craigslist emails to. So with that, let's go over to domains.google. Okay, we made it over to domains.google. You see the link up here. It will also be inside of that presentation that we were looking at earlier. So this is how we're going to go ahead and purchase our domain that we're going to be using. This is totally separate from our main website, and that's just to keep it clean and separate from everything else, so you can go ahead and use that catch-all email address, which is the entire purpose of this thing. So it can be something similar to your website name, doesn't have to be. We're going to go ahead and come down here. As you see, it's $12 a year, so $1 a month. You can have anything you want. They have different domain endings like .guru, .photography. You can put .land. I know that one is available, and so we go ahead and search. You can see the whole process. So if this is your first time buying a domain, we're going to go ahead and walk you step by step. So the first thing you do is you go into the search here, and we're just going to look up a name, and this is one that I'm going to go ahead and purchase today, thelandbros.com. I'm going to go ahead and hit search. Okay, so now that we're over here, what we have is some different domains down here that are available. Of course, this one right here is the one we searched for, and because it's green right here, it is available. I'm going to show you one that I would love to buy at some point. And this one is also available, but it's $6,000 plus $12 a year. So, you can buy stuff at all ends of the spectrum, but for what we're doing, I mean, just buy something that's really cheap, because you're only going to be using it for one purpose. It's not going to be your main interface with customers. So with that, I'm going to go back to the Land Bros, and I'm just going to go ahead and click this button on the right, add to cart. If you have other ones down here, there's ones that you're looking for. You can look for .land, and that one's a little more premium because it has the .land in there, but that is something that is available. So with that, we're going to go ahead and click on View Cart. Okay, so now that we're on here, what we have is our domain that we're purchasing. We have our registration.
So you kind of get the idea. I mean, he really takes you through everything step by step. It's not like super exciting stuff necessarily, but if you're interested in this, and if you really want to do what is necessary to utilize Craigslist to its full potential, he just shows you exactly how to do that. And you just follow along with what he's doing in each video, and you'll get there. It's not terribly complicated. And by the way, actually, as I'm watching that particular clip, it makes me remember, I was going to mention to you, in terms of the costs to implement all the stuff that is talked about in this course, in other words, how much it's going to cost beyond the price of admission to actually like buying your domain and setting up your email addresses and phone numbers and all that stuff. There are some extra costs, but it's not horrible. Like, it's nothing that most people can't manage. For example, for each domain name you buy, it's going to run about 12 bucks, give or take. A G Suite account, depending on which plan you choose, is usually going to be like around 60 bucks a year to 120 bucks a year. In the course here, Seth recommends getting a particular phone, which costs $19.99, I believe, to buy. So there's that cost as well. And then the actual phone plan that he recommends is 35 bucks a month. And then obviously there's the cost of whatever VAs you decide to hire and however much they charge for their services. So it's definitely not free to implement all this stuff, but it's not like a crazy fortune either. But just to be clear, the cost of this course by itself is not the only thing to consider. There's a few additional things you'll have to pay for as well if you actually plan on implementing this stuff long term. So just keep that in mind if and when you decide to dive into this kind of thing. And I will say, something that really annoys me sometimes when I'm looking at different tutorial videos like this is when people take 20 minutes to say something that they could say in 3 minutes. Like they just go on and on and on, and they don't get to the point. And I was super impressed with how Seth communicated this stuff. There were actually a few times when I was watching all these videos when I had like different tabs open and I was trying to do other things while I was listening to what he was saying. And I gotta tell you, like, you really can't do that. You really have to pay attention to everything he's saying or you'll sort of get left behind. So I just thought, you know, major kudos to him for packing the value into these videos and really making them easy to understand and really worth watching. So if you sign up for that basic, least expensive plan, you're going to get access to all of these videos here. And if you want to sign up for the premium plan, then you'll get access to these advanced modules. And the things that are talked about in the advanced modules are how you can actually get virtual assistants and other people to do a lot of this work for you so that you can scale the business. I will say, if you're somebody who has like a ton of time on your hands and you don't mind doing all this stuff yourself, like creating all these accounts and posting ads to Craigslist again and again and again every single day, then honestly, you probably don't need the premium plan because you can handle all this firsthand. But if you are busy, like most people are, and you want to scale this a little bit more so that you have time to do other things, it's going to be fairly important that at some point you bring virtual assistants or other kind of help on board to handle this stuff, because for the most part, once you have the account set up and once a person understands what motions they have to go through, it's not really that complicated or sophisticated. They just have to keep the machine running. So what these other modules talk about are how to find virtual assistants on websites like Upwork and Fiverr, and how to seek out and hire the right people so that they're actually going to do a good job. If you already have experience with Fiverr and Upwork, then a lot of the stuff will probably be review for you in this first module here. In these other modules, he talks a lot more about how to actually work with your virtual assistants to continually post these things and manage them and keep track of everything so that you really have like a sustainable operation that you can keep going once you have these virtual assistants on board. And then also picking the appropriate Craigslist markets so that you're posting your ads in the right relevant places and the whole strategy behind that. And then how to manage all the leads that are going to come in, because if you're doing this right, you're going to get a lot more traffic and calls and emails, not only in response to your Craigslist ads, but you can also drive a lot more traffic to your buying or selling website, depending on how you choose to mention that in your listings as well. So it really helps you to build more of a sales machine. So you don't just have the pieces in place and know technically how to do this, but really like how to make the most of the activity and convert all of this excess traffic into more business and revenue. And then again, whenever there's like important relevant updates that need to be noted, there's going to be videos down here as well. So I just wanted to mention this to you guys because I know Craigslist is a huge part of a lot of your businesses out there, just like it is for mine. If Craigslist is an important sales medium for your business, you know who you are. I think this could definitely be worth checking out. I just thought it was helpful, wanted to run that past you. And one other thing I'll mention, I do have an affiliate relationship with the creators of this course. So I do get a small commission if you buy this course through the specific link beneath this video. So I just want to get that out there. And also something else you should know about is that you can also get a 10% discount on this course if you enter in the following discount code when you check out. So just for example, I'm going to pick this premium plan here and go ahead and add this to the cart. I'll show you how this works. Once it's added to the cart, go ahead and view the cart. And then you'll see this thing right here that says coupon code. You can type in RETipster and then apply coupon. And that's going to give you a 10% discount on whichever option you choose. So by all means, be sure to use that as well if you want a slightly lower price on whichever option you want to go with. But again, that's the course. Just wanted to run that past you. I thought it was really beneficial. I learned a ton of new stuff through this. I hope if you decide to work with this course, it helps you out. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.